What's going on, everybody? It's nighttime. I've got the house to myself and it's very peaceful. And I've also got my new Paul McCartney shirt. I just went to the concert last night, and also you can see right there behind me, I've got the Paul McCartney poster. You'll see it a little bit better in future videos when there's a little bit more sunlight in here, but still looking pretty cool. So tonight, I'm actually going to be making this Aly and AJ concert poster. I went to the show a few weeks ago just before my vacation, and I've got to say that is probably, I'm not going to say it's the best concert I've ever been to, but it was definitely the most energetic show I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody work a crowd the way that they did. So really awesome show. And they did have concert posters there. However, I wasn't able to get one. They were already out by the time I went up there. And plus the merch table was insane the whole time. And I was the only one. I was there by myself. I didn't want to lose my spot because I had a pretty good spot. Anyway, so I'm rambling. So let's go ahead and get started with this poster. But before we do, please remember to hit like and subscribe, and also click the bell for notifications to be notified of all future content. Now let's make this poster. All right, so I'm right here in Illustrator, and let me adjust my mic here. So the poster that we're going to be making tonight is going to be basically like, I don't know if you've ever seen those ones before where it's kind of like, you know, this graphic designer made this poster for a concert, and it was like, you know, it's hilarious or whatever it is. So if I find it, I'll definitely put it up for you. So, but you know, it's one where it's like, you know, hey, can you make a poster? Yeah, what for? Well, it's for this, you know, and it's basically showing like the text message, you know, just kind of going back and forth, you know, describing the event with all of the details in it and everything. So it's going to be kind of like that, not exactly the same. It's going to be just like directly informative. So and this is the album cover for the album, and this is definitely the longest album title I've ever heard. It's A Touch of the Beat Gets You Up on Your Feet, Gets You Out and Then Into the Sun. I mean, I think that's a lot longer than Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, or What's the Story, Morning Glory. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get into the actual design portion of this. And what I'm doing is, I don't really have a plan for this. So I've got kind of an idea of how I want the text to be laid out and everything, but I'm not really sure exactly what direction it's going to go in. I do know that I want to use the font Ilinga. I've never actually used this font before. I've never worked with it, so I want to see what's going on here. And it's also very similar to the fonts that they were using, you know, with their merchandising and like on their posters and everything. So it's very similar to that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and type everything out exactly as I want it to appear, and let's go ahead and center everything. So we're just gonna type all of the text out. So I'm just gonna type Aly and AJ will be performing at Marathon Music Works in Nashville, TN on May 22nd, no, May 14th, sorry. May 14th, 2022. Let's see. Aly and AJ will be performing at Marathon Music Works in Nashville, Tennessee on May 14th to, let's see, to support their new album. And here we go. I'm gonna actually type it all out, and I think I'm gonna put some maybe single quotes should be just fine. A touch of the beat gets you up on your feet, gets you out and then into the sun. There we go. To support their new album, A Touch of the Beat. Yep. So all of that. All right, so let's see here. Sorry, I'm just trying to think, because we're definitely gonna make parts of this text larger. So like, you know, basically like the main points, you know, like, so Aly and AJ, obviously, you know, that's the heading text. It should be the largest one out of all of them. So I want to make sure I get all the text on there. And let's see, doors open at Well, it was something crazy, actually. Doors opened at 5:30, I believe, but the show didn't actually start until 8 o'clock, and that was the opening act. So, tickets available, let's make sure we actually spell it correctly, through, I'm just going to say Aly, here we go, Aly and AJ.com. See you there. Let's see. Okay, so... All right, so now what we'll do is, like, so we've got a baseline, like a baseline text of 60, and I'm thinking that I'll probably stick with that for, you know, like for sections like this, you know, like we'll be performing at, you know, but let's try multiplying by 4. That is pretty large, but at the same time, you know, you got to consider this is a poster. So, you know, like you know, like it literally is the headliner. Oh, and also, yeah, so the opening act was, let's see, we'll be performing at Marathon Music in Nashville, Tennessee on, okay, let's just say featuring the Brummies, which were amazing, by the way. If you're a fan of indie music, definitely have to check them out because they were fantastic. So Marathon Music Works, there we go, in Nashville, Tennessee. I think maybe we'll, let's see, let's adjust. This is more a video in typography than anything else, and what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of, you know what, let me put this back on auto, and I'll just do space after for the paragraphs. So just make sure you got your paragraph panel open up. I've got mine over here in this series of panels. And I'm just going to go like -30, something like that. And then we will kind of bring this up a little bit because since we're going to be making a lot of these larger, you know, we want to make sure that all of the text is going to be able to show on the poster itself. And you know what? I can, this I believe is 18 by 24, which that is a standard concert size concert poster, but I think I'm going to make this 27 instead. So why don't we do that, and let's also make sure that we extend our text box. There we go. And then just so I know exactly where we're going, we'll leave it right there. Perfect. And then get rid of that box. Okay. All right, so we've got this going on here now. We want to make Nashville, Tennessee nice and large as well, but maybe not. You know, I think this could get progressively smaller, you know, because we're starting at 240. You know, this is now 120. We don't want to do half that because that's our smallest size. So we were at 120, I believe. So maybe we'll do something like 100, and then 100 again, and then the album name. What we can do here is get it to where it perfectly fills up 3 lines. Okay, featuring the Brummies. Okay, I actually think that the rest of that is good. Let's bring this up. We can probably bring this up just a little bit, maybe like another 10 points or so. But I actually do like all of this. What we can do here is kind of push this down just a little bit, and we are losing a lot of flexibility. But I think that overall, I do like the layout of all of this. For this, I feel like this is kind of okay. It's real sensitive right there. So let's maybe do like this. Maybe pull this up 10 points a little bit. So yeah, so we'll be performing at Marathon Music Works at Nashville on this. Yep, and this is all 60 right here, featuring the Brummies. I wonder if we have any. Yeah, we've got some room to do that. Okay, so we'll just move that up to 70 point right there. And then this right here is kind of a series of information. I wonder if, no, if we could do this. We'll see how it looks if we kind of decrease the tracking a little bit. No, it's not gonna look good. Okay, it would be way too much tracking to do that. Okay, tickets available through AlyAJ.com, and for something like this, Can we push it up a little bit further? Nah, I don't think we need it. Okay. All right, so we'll do a little bit of space after, basically however much we can until we go off. Okay, perfect. All right, so I do like this right here. And so this is going to be the starting point for our typography. And I'm going to make a copy of it and lock it. Oh, wait, no, lock it down. That way, yeah, there we go. So now we're okay, good. We're good. So we're back over here. All right, so now I'm going to create outlines. And just because I'm a stickler for things like this, I'm going to get this exactly where it needs to be. 16 inches, and then we'll do 25 inches right there. That way our margins are exact. Okay, so I'm going to ungroup everything, and let's go ahead and do some colors. So I want to make a background color first. I want that to be, you know, like I want to establish that as, you know, that's kind of the foundation. So I'm thinking that thinking that the pinwheel is going to happen. There we go. All right, so let's do like maybe this beige background right here. And obviously, you know, if you've seen any of my past videos, we're definitely not going to do all black, like a solid black. So let's choose a nice maybe dark purple or something, or plum or whatever this is called. And basically we're going to highlight all of the main points right here. And what I'm doing right here is I'm just going through and I'm just grouping these together really quick. So, so all of our main points are going to be that purple color, and then the supporting points, which we do need to go ahead and group these as well. Supporting points will be maybe like a dark orange or like a burnt orange or something like that. So let's kind of see what we have got here. So these colors right here are really vibrant, although I think that orange is a little bit too strong. So I'm going to go ahead and group all of that together just so I can just grab it with one click. I actually do kind of like the red, like that contrast of the red and the purple right there, but I'm still not entirely sold on it. Okay, that's pretty cool. Although I wish I could go, I wonder if maybe I could do the, okay, there we go. There it is. That's it right there. All right. All right. Very cool. All right, so let's go ahead and unlock everything. And I'm going to select all of this and copy it, and we're going to move over to Photoshop. All right, so I'm here in Photoshop, and I've already set up this document right here. This is 18 by 27, full resolution, and I'm just pasting it as a smart object. So now I'm going to go ahead and enlarge it. I think I'm going to do it just without the bleed, just for the sake of the video, and then I can go in and add that. I don't think I'm actually going to get this printed. This is really just more for the video. Okay. So we have our foundation here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and just merge it down to the background. And what I'd like to do here, if you look at the album cover, you'll see you'll see a lot of halftone patterns and things like that. There's a lot of halftones through here. So I think I'm going to kind of play around and see what I can do with that. So first thing you can do is create a new layer, and don't capitalize the A like I just did. So Shift Delete will actually fill it with 50% gray, and then you go up here to Filter, Pixelate, Color Halftone. So this will actually create a color halftone for you on its own layer. And what I might do here, as you can see, this is like 8 pixel halftone. I may actually go in and just double the size of that. So max radius of 16 pixels. So that, you know, it just makes it a little bit easier to see. So, and just with the power of blending modes, we're going to go through the blending modes and just see what we can come up with here. And actually, you know what I just realized? I'm definitely going to want to alter the effects of the text a little bit. So I'm going to actually go back here and grab this. and paste it. I think I'm going to paste it separately. So let me do this. All right, so we'll go ahead and delete that halftone just for now, because it's so easy to recreate. And then so I grab just the text, and then that way I can add a solid color background, and then just take this background away. So now the text and the background are on 2 different layers. All right, so now let's do our halftone, fill it with 50% gray, and then do the color halftone again. And I think that there's a possibility I may see what happens if we... Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I forgot that when you desaturate it, it does this weird effect. So let's see if we can... See if doing a gradient map will help that. Doesn't look like it. But what we could probably do here is just merge those 2 together, and then see what happens when we do... when we apply some blending modes to it. It does look like it might be a little bit strong as far as the sizing goes, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with this. Doesn't seem like it's working very well in terms of like blending to the layers below. So let's go into filter gallery and choose a halftone pattern from here. So this will give us a little bit more. So let's go like a circle. This would be interesting if we went circle instead. And I'll turn the contrast all the way up. That's interesting. Although it is taking away from the legibility of the type. Although I wonder what would happen if we did this. So let's do lighten right here, and then duplicate this, offset that. That's interesting right there. That's actually pretty cool. So what I did there was just duplicate the text that I already had, and then put it over the actual gradient map. So like we're essentially creating a drop shadow with that circular halftone pattern. So I think that's actually pretty cool, and it is in line with what they were doing in terms of the aesthetic of the album, like the album art and the design and all of their merchandising and everything. So I think that's cool, and I think I'm going to keep it with that. All right, so now let's go into my design resources, and let's take a look at what we have for things like, you know, paper, and, you know, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a tangible feel. So rotate this, and I'm going to go ahead and drop this on the very top, so that way we can apply this paper effect all the way down through all of the layers. Like basically what I'm looking for is just kind of like at a glance, like just kind of imagine that I'm looking at it from far away, just to kind of see what's going on. I think I'm going to add some like circular shapes, and that kind of ties into the whole sun theme of the new album. If you haven't actually heard this album, it's actually very good. It's a really good album. They were very much like, like the teeny, well, not really. Like they were part of the Disney crew, like back in the mid 2000s, but even back then they didn't really fit that mold like the other ones, because they wrote their own music and they played their own instruments. So like it was definitely, they were definitely set apart, I would say. But as far as the music, they've gone on and they've never stopped actually making music, and all of the music that they make is really good. But this particular album, it's very California sounding. So like if you're into that type of vibe of music, then I think you'll really like it a lot. Let's see what happens if we add Gaussian blur to both of these. We may have to take it up a few notches there. Okay, I see what's happening. So it's applying it to the whole area, not just the actual text itself. So we may need to really bump it up to make sure that we can kind of match that level. So I had two on the top one, and then 10 on the bottom one. Okay, so it is still giving me the, it is kind of giving me the effect that I was going for here. Let's go back into Illustrator for this, and let's just create a circle. Of course, you can create a circle in Photoshop, but this is just easier for me. I just prefer doing it this way. And I'd like to do like a roughen right here and just kind of see what we can do in terms of like just doing a little bit of, let's see, maybe a sun, you know, like not a perfect circle, obviously. I, you know, don't want to do a perfect circle. So let's expand that appearance. It doesn't really matter if we expand the appearance or not. We're just going to bring it over here into Photoshop. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Meant to have the move tool going on. There we go. Okay, and then we'll just apply some blending modes here so that we can just kind of do something like that. That's interesting. I do like that. Although I think it needs to be a little bit more like I think the color might be a little bit too dark, so it needs to be a little bit more like this. So, and that's actually pretty cool. Like even just that one circle is working well. Let's see what happens with other blending modes. It's definitely a good idea to test out some different ones. So this one is cool. Actually, I really like this a lot. That nice bright yellow in the back. It's definitely, you know, indicative of a sun, and it's really making that text back there nice and pretty. I really like that a lot. So I think that might be what I end up going with. And just to add a little bit more dimension to it, let's see if we can add another background, or at least another layer that we can lay on top of all of this. And let's see, I'm gonna try maybe like a photocopy layer or something like that, just to bring out some of those dynamic tones a little bit. It's amazing what you can do with blending modes. It's one of my favorite things to do in Photoshop, and you know, like, 'cause you never know what the results you're gonna get. Actually, I'm just gonna enlarge this just a little bit more past the actual canvas to make sure that we don't see any edges there. Oh, that's interesting. Way too harsh, but it was interesting. All right. Difference is interesting. It's definitely giving us more of a contrast with everything. And subtract is good too. I like subtract. It's kind of what it looks like right here. 100% view. It's looking pretty cool. I think what I might try to do, just as kind of an experiment. So these are the images that I grabbed right here. I was just wanting to get the photo shoot from this, but you know, you can see like the album artwork itself, you know, and even the vinyl, very California. So I wonder if we can go into Unsplash and just type in California and see what we can come up with here, and maybe we can do some kind of a nice composite of like a beach setting or something like that. This one is cool. I like this one. Although I would like I'd like something, you know, with not like with no people. That would be nice. So let's or actually I do like these two surfers right here. So let's download this one, and we'll see what we can do with this image. And we'll basically what we'll do is we'll just drag it and drop it over here. And I'm going to put it underneath this paper layer right here. That way it picks up on those colors. And I definitely want it to be full screen right here. And then we'll just use blending modes to make sure that we pick up on that text. So the surfers actually do kind of like this composition right here. So let's just circle through real quick. If there's not much that we can do, that's pretty cool. Although we are losing the contrast there for the overall text. Even if just a little bit of it is there, see that's pretty cool, because now we're bringing in some pink, and that's that's definitely another California color. Overlay is looking really cool. Okay, so I'm thinking that this is really nice. If I did, that's pretty cool too. If I went with either overlay or soft light, what I'll do is I'll go. I think I like overlay better because of the vibrancy of the darker text. So, but I also do like the subtlety of soft light. So it's going to be between those two, I think, unless any of these other ones. That's interesting. That's definitely going further back, like 70s, 80s, and like a real posterized look. But I think that's pretty cool too. Although I'd have to really do a lot of adjustment in the levels. So the color one is interesting. I actually do like that one too. But I think I'm gonna go back to oh boy. I think I'm gonna go with overlay because for a couple of reasons. One, you can see the sun rays right here, like the clouds and everything like that, and it looks like, yeah, you can definitely see the surfers a little bit easier. And I do like the vibrancy of these colors right here. However, what I am gonna do is go into my vector smart object here, and these need to be lowered in terms of their brightness. So let's just kind of bring these down to maybe 50% and see what happens when we save it, and then go back into Photoshop and watch those update. Okay. So I'm a fan of what happened everywhere except for down here at the bottom, where all of these darker layers are. So what we can do here is let's grab our where is it? Sorry about that. I actually had a technical difficulty. I was unable to grab one of the tools that I was trying to use, and then it just ended up freezing on me. So so what I'm going to do here, just as kind of a recap, make sure I've got the this layer, the beach layer, selected, and I've got my brush going on, and then I've got an overlay mode with a flow of 20%. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and just kind of highlight these areas right here, so that it's not so dark once that text shows through. And looks like we are getting some artifacts showing through in this area. So I wonder if we were to do that. No, that's decreasing the contrast. So it looks like we're probably better off leaving at least that one area like that. So I do want to see what happens if we just kind of brighten that up a little bit. Not too wild about it. Let's just grab that color. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's working better. And then maybe if we do this around here, it might... No. Okay. Maybe we'll just give it like just a real simple highlight. Okay, so I think that's good right there. Okay, so I believe this is done. So here we go. There's my Aly and AJ Marathon Music Works poster. Obviously, like I said at the beginning of the video, they did have a poster there. It was really cool. I just wasn't able to get one, unfortunately. But I still think that this fits in with, like with the branding and the aesthetic of their new album. If you haven't listened to it, then definitely give it a listen. It's a really good album. So let me know what you think of this poster in the comments below. All right, well, thanks a lot for watching me make that Aly and AJ poster. That was a lot of fun, and so was the concert. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe at the bottom, and also click the bell for notifications to be notified of all new content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.